What would you do if the person you loved, the person you had cared for in their most vulnerable state, refused to do a simple, necessary favor for you in your moment of need? In today's story, a single trip to the supermarket becomes a test of a 3-year relationship, and the outcome is a masterclass in recognizing red flags. My name is Chloe, I'm 25, and my boyfriend, Leo, is 28. We've been together for over 3 years, and just a month ago, we finally moved into our own place, just the two of us. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a new chapter we both desperately wanted. It all started yesterday. We were having people over, and I was going to cook. I sent Leo a text, asking him to pick up some pasta from the supermarket on his way home from work. It made perfect sense. He gets out of work before me, and the store is literally a 3-minute drive from our apartment. Everything seemed fine, but then, just as I was about to leave my job, it happened. My period arrived, and I was completely unprepared. I quickly texted him again. Hey, can you please grab some pads for me while you're there? His reply came back almost instantly. I'm not doing that. I stared at the screen, a little stunned by the bluntness. I typed back, trying to be clear. I'm heading home now. They are in the personal hygiene aisle. I need them. His response was just as cold. So go get them? At this point, I was getting frustrated. My cramps were starting to kick in, and I just wanted to go home. I replied, aren't you going to the store? Yeah, he texted back. So I wrote, I'm telling you to please get it for me. Leo sent that text, irritated by his own cravings, completely unaware that his next words were about to detonate a bomb in the foundation of his 3-year relationship. His final word on the matter was, I said I'm not doing that but you keep asking. I just ended it with, okay thanks. A moment later, he added that we should probably cancel on our guests, which only made me feel worse. So, I had to go get them myself. I drove home from work in pain, with a makeshift wad of toilet paper in my underwear, praying I wouldn't make a mess. It wasn't just about the pads anymore. I always believe it's not what you say, but how you say it. If he was genuinely uncomfortable, he could have just said that. Something like, I'm sorry, but that makes me uncomfortable, so I won't be able to. Would have changed my whole perspective. But for a 28-year-old man to be that immaturely embarrassed felt like a huge red flag. As I drove, my mind flashed back 2.5 years ago, to when Leo had a horrible skiing accident. He fractured his right leg and dislocated his left shoulder. He couldn't move, couldn't shower, couldn't even use the toilet by himself. And guess who was there for him through all of it? Me. I helped him with everything, including the most private and undignified parts of his recovery. As one person later commented online, wait, you wiped his ass when he was injured and he is too embarrassed to buy you pads at the grocery store? Girl, it's time to dump him. And in that moment, I agreed. I expected him to do the same for me, and realizing he wouldn't do this one little thing felt like it could honestly be a deal breaker. That night, we had a very long conversation. I read our text messages out loud to him, and to his credit, he didn't get defensive. He just listened and then called himself an admitting what he said was completely messed up. He then tried to explain his side. He said his vape had run out and he'd been dealing with nicotine withdrawal all day, which made him irritable. He claimed the small Italian supermarket he went to for the pasta didn't even have personal hygiene products. He admitted that his mother never talked to him about periods and he'd never been asked to buy products like this before in his short past relationship. This revealed Leo's greatest fatal flaw, a profound emotional immaturity, nurtured by a mother who had always shielded him from life's basic responsibilities, which now threatened to cost him the person who had shown him the most care. He said, I didn't know it was an emergency, otherwise I would have gotten it for you with no hesitation. He also confessed it wasn't embarrassment, but social anxiety that stopped him. I pointed out the existence of self-checkout, and he admitted that the one other time I'd asked, he felt anxious then too but did it because I'd said it was an emergency. My mind reeled with the implications. Just as another commenter pointed out, he was literally at the store and decided your health wasn't worth whatever issue he had with his ego. And if God forbid you were serious of wanting to settle down with him and have kids, imagine if you had a daughter. He couldn't get pads for her? I told him I wanted to break up. The reality of our situation crashed down on me. I don't have close family nearby. And while friends offered their living rooms, I just gave him my half of the rent money. I have a full-time job, but I don't have the savings to get my own place again with the expensive deposits. Leo begged me to stay. He promised he wouldn't put me in a position where I'd struggle because of his actions. He said he would sleep on the couch, that he'd work on himself, and that we could take a break if I needed it. He just asked me not to leave. He knows that if I walk out that door, I'm not coming back. Now, I'm just overwhelmed, living with him, but feeling more alone than ever. Ultimately, this story shows that the small things are often the big things. A partner's refusal to handle a simple, everyday task can reveal deep-seated immaturity and a lack of respect that can poison a relationship from the inside out. So I'll leave you with this question: when a partner shows you who they are, do you believe their promise to change? Or do you believe the actions that spoke so much louder than words? What would you do in my situation?